I got a lot of sleep last night, and that always makes me tired the next day.
Yeah. Slurp.
Did you just flip me off?
No, I pointed at you because I'm like, and slurp. Why? You're a grown ass man. You can't drink coffee without slurping.
You know where this mug is from?
No.
Orion, the ride. Not like on the coaster. They don't throw it at you. But... Hey, I'm Jeff.
And I'm...
What the hell did you just say?
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, the perfect podcast for people who have no friends. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hey, I'm Buck.
I'm Dusty.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode 79.
Yes,
and we are
is.
so happy that you're here
We
with
are.
us. Boy, do we have a great show, don't we, Dusty?
We do, Buck.
Today is it's our 79th episode,
Yeah.
and today is 2/22/22. And honestly,
I don't care.
I could give a crap.
I don't care.
All day long, people on
Yeah.
the Facebook and on the Twitter and on the Instagram have been talking.
Yeah.
It's 2/22/22.
Kids are wearing tutus to school. Did
yeah,
you see that?
That's disgusting.
It's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. People wearing 2 socks and 2 shoes like it's a big
Jeez.
deal. I had 2 hot dogs for lunch.
Yeah.
Who cares? We're going to record 2 episodes tonight.
Hey, guess,
no, we're not.
Yeah, guess
because
what,
I don't
guys?
care.
Oh, and it's Tuesday.
And it's
too.
a Tuesday.
Guess what, guys? If you write the year out, it's 2022. Suck it. Call
Yeah.
me back in 200 years when it's really
It's not
222.
It's 022222. It's not 2022. There's
The
not
year.
a 20th month.
The year is 2022.
Oh, you are correct.
Jesus.
Sorry, Dusty.
Okay.
Sorry
You're
about
welcome, Buck.
We have a show for you tonight, and let me tell you, we have had shows in the past.
We have. We've
We're-
had 77 of them.
We've had 78. Well, yeah, because we had a
we
repeat.
don't count the first one.
We had a
Yeah.
repeat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. There's a few of our episodes where I've opened up with an apology. Either we've offended somebody, either we said something that was incorrect, or we forgot to say something. And I think I've done all of those on the last episode. So I'm going to start out. I want to apologize to Christopher Nolan, Academy Award nominated screenwriter and director Christopher Nolan. Last week, I was talking about an employee at the Walmart who was so confused, it appeared like this person had watched Inception and some other confusing movie that was directed by, and I said, Kevin Nolan. Okay? The director's name is Christopher Nolan. He deserves to be called Christopher. His name is not Kevin.
Yeah.
So my apologies to Christopher Nolan. I hope in the future that he will forgive us, and maybe one day he'll come and be a guest on our show. I also want to apologize to Kevin Nolan.
Okay.
Kevin Nolan, if you're out there, if your name is Kevin Nolan,
Yeah.
listen, sorry, you're a nobody. Okay. I mean, maybe you've done something that's worthy of being mentioned on this podcast. And if you have, give us a call, send us a letter, write it, put it in the mailbox, and then we will talk more about you. But until then, sorry that I gave you fame that you didn't deserve, Kevin Nolan. I want to apologize to Walmart. Okay. Last week, I was actually bragging on the customer service that I saw at Walmart, which I haven't seen in years. It's been a very, very, very long time since I went to a Walmart and had a pleasurable experience. So last week, I had a great story about the cashier doing the right thing when the money went under the conveyor belt, and the person in the back who did whatever she could to help me find my Little Debbie ice cream. So there were 2 instances of great customer service.
Okay. There's another apology that
Okay.
you should make.
Yeah.
I want to
Are you
since
gonna,
we're here.
Okay, you're going to apologize?
I don't apologize. I apologize for nothing.
Okay.
However, when we talked about John Goodman, you claimed that he said that, it was in the balloons or it was William Forsythe.
That's right.
John Goodman wasn't even in that scene.
That's right.
And I found that out.
No.
He wasn't in.
They both robbed the convenience store, but it was the other person who asked if the balloons came in funny shapes, and it says no, unless you think round is
So
funny.
if you look at that scene, William Forsythe and the guy behind the counter are the only people in that scene.
Okay, then my apologies to John Goodman.
Okay.
I
And
apologize.
William Forsythe.
and to the Coen brothers.
Yeah. I would like to make one more apology to William Forsythe.
Okay.
For being in a Steven Seagal movie. I'm sorry that you had to be in that movie, and I'm sorry that when I first saw you in Raising Arizona, I said, that's the guy from the Steven Seagal movie.
Yeah, I'm
wow.
Steven Seagal.
He's going to be funny now. William Forsythe is a hilarious actor.
Yeah.
He was a villain in a Steven Seagal movie.
You gonna arrest me? I'm out of bullets! That's a shame. Because those bullets could have saved you a lot of pain.
So, I haven't seen that one.
You're lucky. I paid to see it in the theater.
I think I had seen like the first 3 or 4 Steven Seagal movies.
They were so awesome. Back now, I will say Above the Law. Above the Law is still an awesome movie.
What was the one where he was I'm a cook. I'm a cook. And he was like the cook on the boat.
Under Siege.
Under Siege.
That's the one everyone said, that's Die Hard on a boat.
Okay, yeah. Well, they're all Die Hard
then
somewhere on
Under
something.
Siege 2 came out, and it's Die Hard 2 on a boat. It's just suck it. But no, Steven Seagal was
apologies
awesome.
to Steven Seagal fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoever
the hell you
four
are.
of you.
Yeah, okay. So I was a Steven Seagal fan. Above the Law, I think, is still a great movie.
Out for Justice.
Out for Justice is the one where William Forsythe was the villain. He wore a black trench coat before it was cool, before Neo.
Okay.
But there were 2 movies before that that I, as a kid, thought were awesome. And I look back now.
And they're not. Oh, boy, howdy.
Somebody should have smacked some sense into me. Hard to Kill and Marked for Death.
Marked for Death. Yeah.
Hard to Kill. He's basically in a coma. Then he gets rescued from the hospital. He goes out. He sniffs some tea leaves, does some acupuncture, and punches a tree for a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's
right. And then he beats everybody up. And then Marked for Death, he does the same thing.
Without the tea
but
leaves.
with a sword. And there's voodoo in there somewhere.
So anyway.
What happened?
Hey, what happened?
Hey, what happened?
The apology train continues.
Yes.
I would like to apologize to my youngest son, Cameron, because I was helping him do his homework, and Daddy can't help him do his homework. Okay. Yeah. There was, and you're part of the story.
I taught him something.
There was, you sure did. There was a math problem. And it's like Mike said, why was it a math problem? It was more of a chart problem.
I don't think it was a science problem.
They had this chart where there were some kids who had lunch but not breakfast, and some kids who had breakfast and not lunch, and the 2 things crossed. And I swear to God, I'm dumber than a tick on top of a frog on a log.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And I, for the life of me, could not figure out this problem to save my life. So what did I do? I texted you.
You texted me.
I took a picture of it and I sent it to you, and I said, what's going on here? And then, God love you, you tried. Okay. You said, this is this is that. The answer is 30. This one's C. This one's B. And you gave me the answers. Okay? I still didn't understand how to do it. So I tried to do it again. I said, so wait, you're saying that this is this, right?
Yeah.
And this is that? Yeah. And then I could tell by the tone in your text. Well, yes, this is this, that's that, because this goes.
Allow me to Quentin Tarantino you.
Okay, yeah.
Now let's go put the camera in this house.
Okay.
I was literally sitting right over there.
Right.
It was PlayStation
We're
time.
in Mike's basement.
PlayStation time for Daddy. Okay, I'm sitting there. I've got 20 minutes before I have to go to bed. And it's not like Bess is going to yell down, you have to go to bed. It's
Mike,
the
go
old,
to bed.
Yeah, the old man timer in me is like, you're either going to fall asleep in your bed and have a normal night's sleep and get up and go to work, or you're going to fall asleep in this chair and wake up tomorrow wishing you could die and still have to go to work.
Right.
So I only had like 20 minutes or so. And you text me, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. Here's what this is, and here's what that is.
And leave me
I
alone.
wasn't putting all my brain into it, I'll admit, because this helped confuse you. I would answer a certain way, and then I'd say right after that, no, that's not it, it's this. But as that was happening, I was getting frothy.
Yeah. So after fans of the show, after like the 4th text I sent Mike, he finally just calls me. I pick the phone and he says, Darin, what the And my son Cameron.
That was a legitimate question.
My son Cameron is sitting right next to me. I'm like, oh, hey, Mike. Cameron and I are sitting right here doing homework. And Cameron's, Uncle Mike said the F word.
Yeah.
And then Libby's in the other room. What happened? What did Mike say? Mike said the F word. So anyway, apologies, Cameron.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm sorry that I bothered you in the middle of the night.
No,
I've said it before. I'm going to say it again, and I regret saying it every time. When it comes to math, you're the smartest person I know.
Well,
and that it just it pisses me off.
You need to meet more people for
I
one
do.
thing.
I do. I'm going to start texting Greg Bodis whenever I have a math problem. Now, maybe he won't curse.
The other piece of this is that I had fun. And it was good for the podcast, I think.
In my defense, it was funny.
In my defense, it was funny.
So there's that. I found out that, do you remember? Do you remember when we did our 7th episode? Okay. A recurring joke on this show is we'll do a show that we'll say, this is so bad, this is going to be our last episode.
Yeah.
Well, Mike had done some research when we started this podcast, and he found out that most podcasts starting out make it around 7 episodes before people give up.
Yeah, north of
lose
90,
interest.
Yeah, over 95% of them go away.
And so we did our 7th episode, and we said, this is our final episode. Thank you for listening, right?
Yeah, we said our goodbyes.
Yeah. And then next week we came back with our comeback.
Exactly, like 7 days later.
Exactly.
Like, there was no break.
It was like when Ozzy Osbourne retired, and then the Retirement Sucks tour. So we came back with our comeback special, episode 8. We thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
This is episode 79. We just found out that there's somebody who this whole time thought we were done at 7.
Done.
We've done 72 episodes. This guy thought, the podcast is over with.
And he's probably listening right now, and he thinks you're making fun of him. We're not making fun of you. We feel
I
bad.
was.
Yeah.
I feel bad that why would he not believe us?
Yeah,
Poor guy. Santa Claus isn't real. The Tooth Fairy and Irritable Dad Syndrome, they're still on the air.
So, well, that caused me a lot of... I didn't sleep that night very well because I'm like, is that why we're not?
Is that why our ratings are
why are we so low? We go high. And I want to go back. I won't because I barely put enough time into the show as it is. Mm-hmm. But I would like someone to go back and tell me which episodes we said are going to be our last, and then I'll look at the downloads and see if they just drop off.
Well, our numbers started peaking in the 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the 50s and 60s, we started getting like 200 within a day or two.
And now we're back. Now we're back down into the between the 50s and the 80s per. So yeah. So anyway,
here we are.
Anyway, sorry to the person who thought we went off the air. If you would, please go back and listen to, this is episode 79, listen to 78, 77, 76, and go back. And because I think you'll enjoy a lot of the episodes that we've recorded that you missed out. And I hate that you did that because of our idiotic.
Well, if you go to the website, one fun thing, and if you're new to us, like
irritabledadsyndrome.com.
Yeah, we've learned a lot of things as we've gone along.
Yes,
so
we have.
I was talking to this person. I was talking to a person. Mm-hmm. They want to start a podcast as well.
Okay.
And I was giving advice from the standpoint of, don't do this because this is exactly what we did.
Yeah.
So you need to do this other thing.
Yes.
And one of the things we've done is like we started out with a website. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you. I was just happy to like, wow, the words that I just wrote appear on the screen in front of me.
They're right behind www.
And other people can see that and wow.
Yeah.
So just the act of getting it up, it never dawned on me that our website was clunky.
The act of getting
kind of
it
hard
up.
to use. Yes. So then we got with a different provider that's actually geared towards podcasts, and I lost my mind.
Yeah.
But the fun thing about this new place is that you can look for, what the hell was I going to talk about?
You can search topics on irritabledadsyndrome.com.
But you can also, if you can see what you're interested in, because we blather on. But no, this is where I was going to go.
Okay.
Mike, you can edit all that out.
Yeah, just edit that out.
There's a little, like right when you come to the website, there's the current episode, and you scroll down, it says, hey, are you new to this series? Are you new to this podcast? Mm-hmm. Here's some episodes you might watch. And Legend of Truck Nuts Troy is there. Mm-hmm. The Best of Year One.
Oh, Truck Nuts Troy was a good one.
We got to start thinking, and I got to put episode 24. We got to start thinking about the second group. Because there were some doozies. There were some doozies right after. Like Truck Nuts Troy is going to be on year 2.
Yes.
What happened?
Deep breath. Some people listening to this episode are going to ask, are they done apologizing? No, we're not. No. I would like to apologize to Kevin Rupert. He was the guest on our show last week.
Yes.
Fantastic guest.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
He had a birthday, And he did. He had a birthday last week.
Okay.
And again, great guy. And we had him on the show the week I decided to talk about my stomach virus.
Yes. Yeah.
And normally our episodes are between an hour and 10, something like that. Last week's episode was 53 minutes long because I edited out probably 13, 14 minutes of us talking about me having a stomach virus. I'm listening to this going, oh my God, nobody wants to hear about this.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear about what I cleaned out of the carpet, which there's a link or there's a little snippet of me talking about some stuff that I had to clean out the carpet.
Okay.
So anyway, Kevin, I'm sorry that I spent most of the time talking about a stomach virus instead of you and your comedic genius. And please forgive me, Kevin Rupert. Thank you.
Okay. So I would like to apologize to you
Okay.
for last episode.
Okay.
You're talking about your stomach virus. I forgot that you talked about your stomach virus because you texted me and said you cut all that out. And I'm like, I don't even remember talking about that. And you just said, yep. It was a good day or two before I was like, oh, he must have talked about that. And then I realized, I don't think I listened to you. Like when we do the show, I don't think I hear you.
I don't think you do either. You forgot that we even had a guest.
I did.
Mike's oh, this crazy thing happened to me, and I was at the school board, and blah 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 blah. And you can hear Kevin
he's
go,
snoring he's snoring in the background.
And I'm like, so Kevin, what'd you think about that? And then, well, yeah, it's great. And Mike's like, oh, and another thing.
Yeah, Bess even called me out on that because I asked her, what do you think about the last episode? Hey, you should let the guests talk sometimes.
So
why?
Anybody who wants to be a guest on our show, we're new to having guests on the show.
Yeah,
Mike's not used to being around other people besides me.
I'm not.
Yeah.
We're used to filling up all this space with bullshit. And then when we have somebody else come in, we don't know how to share.
Yeah.
I don't know how to share.
Yeah.
I'm an only child.
Yeah. So a funny thing happened last week. Kevin Rupert, comedian, I asked him to tell my favorite joke of Kevin's. And let's play the clip from last week. This is a joke from Kevin Rupert about Ham, the first monkey to travel into space. So, Mike, before the show, you went up to get some liquid funny, and I was telling Kevin I was going to request one of my favorite jokes of his.
Okay.
Kevin, if you got it in you, can you tell your joke about the monkey flying into space?
Oh, man. I haven't done that one in a long time, and it is kind of a long one. But basically, if I'm remembering correctly, so I watched a documentary a few years ago, and it was about how before we sent people into space, we used to send monkeys. And there was one monkey in particular. His name was Ham, and so they shot him up into space. He orbited a few times, splashed back down in the Pacific Ocean. And in the documentary, they had footage of the aircraft carrier going out to retrieve him. So they get him out of the water. They crack open the capsule, and Ham's as happy as can be because he's a monkey. That's just kind of his thing.
Because he's a monkey.
Yeah, exactly. But then they go, "Good job, little guy. You completed your mission. Now here's your reward." And they hand him one banana. Now listen, guys. I'm not an expert on how much NASA should be paying their space monkeys, but I did play a lot of Donkey Kong Country growing up, and pretty sure that one banana isn't sufficient compensation for going to space. What did this guy have to do to get 2 bananas? Colonize Mars? So that's kind of the general, the general concept.
Classic. Welcome back. So after Kevin told this story about Ham the space monkey, I went online and I was looking up more about it. Okay. And it's like a really, really sad story. So after Ham the space monkey came back and they paid him with the banana and all that hilarious stuff, I found out, I went on YouTube and I was looking up stuff about Ham the space monkey. They said that Ham lived alone in a zoo for like 17 years. And that broke my heart.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? He went to space and you're just going to put him in a zoo by himself for 17 years?
Yeah.
But can you imagine what it was like being the monkey in the zoo, like the giraffe walks by, he's like, I went to space. The giraffe's like, you're full of shit. Yeah, and I'm the king of Africa. Whoop-de-doo, I've got a crown and everything. It's like, no, none of the animals believe that he went to space.
Yeah.
They weren't there. Nobody saw it.
Yeah. It's like real astronauts. Who do they get to talk to? They have to talk to other astronauts about their experience.
Yeah, he's got nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah, I was in a shuttle. They launched me up. Oh yeah, and how long were you into space?
Yeah.
Oh, it's about 16 minutes. Yeah, sure you were. Right. Hey everybody, get Ham the space monkey some Tang. Like, would you? Yeah.
And that's even if he can get one of those animals to follow the story. I mean, if he's talking to one of the idiot animals like a penguin, what's a penguin? A penguin just
penguins don't even understand clothes.
That's
Another
right.
chimpanzee would understand. They put you in a silver spacesuit. Yeah, they did. Yeah, right. Yeah. But anyway, so the worst part about this, and this is where the story ends on a real downer, unlike the rest of this episode. The YouTube video that I saw said that Ham lived for 17 years alone in a zoo. And then the video said, here are Ham's remains. And they showed his bones. His bones.
Yeah.
I edit videos for a living, okay?
Yeah.
I have never once did a video where they said, you know what, Darin, I think this would be better if we showed the remains of somebody. Show his bones. And then it fades to black.
Yeah.
Like, what? Nobody needed to see a bunch of monkey bones. No. In the video and he returned, he came back into the Earth's orbit, and they opened up the thing, and he was fine.
Yeah.
And they gave him the banana. It was great. You don't need to know that he lived alone.
Okay. Your Honor, I have many questions.
You may approach the bench.
The bones.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Did they dig the bones? Did they say, oh, we need to get a picture of the bone? Because monkey bones, I don't know if you know this,
monkeys
but
have
anytime you see a bone, it once had an organism surrounding it.
That's right.
Right? But what did they do? Did they just lay his body somewhere until nature took its course and they took a picture of the bones?
I don't know.
Did they dig him up?
I don't know. But anyway,
did they now here's a conspiracy.
Maybe he died and you want to get gruesome, maybe he died and they just carved the meat right off of him.
Oh my God.
Save the bones for later.
Yeah. Or maybe he fell in the tiger pit and Tiger took care of all that stuff, except for the tigers don't like bones.
Well, I don't think that's true.
They don't eat them.
I don't think that's true.
I'm going to say it is.
Okay. Okay, Dusty.
Wow.
Yeah.
That went weird.
Anyway, I think those are all the apologies that I have for this episode. If I've offended you, let me know. Send us a message at irritabledadsyndrome.com. Reach out to us on our Facebook page or on our Instagram or on our Twitter, and I'll apologize next week.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties, the crispy, cheesy treats you'll crave. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I love titties, especially Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties. Baked with a rich, sweet, and cheesy flavor, you'll taste the difference when you bite into these titties. These snacks are so good, if you put one titty in your mouth, I'll guarantee you'll want more. Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties. Ask for them by name. Now back to you, Mike and Devin.
I want to talk about concert tickets.
Okay. I love concerts.
I do too. And I pride myself on buying concert tickets. To me, it's an art form.
Yeah.
So I've gotten prime tickets in prime locations with what I consider to be great bands many, many different times. As a matter of fact, I do it so well and I get so stressed out about it that to me, it's a breath of fresh air when I don't have to buy the tickets, or if it's a band that I don't really care that much about.
Yeah.
And I just say, let me get the best that I, available right now and whatever. I don't care.
Right.
But certain bands, I go all out.
Right.
Okay.
Like you did for U2.
Yeah, and Tool. Okay, so I'm going to see Tool in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'm in multiple Tool groups. I think I've pointed that out.
You have
Tool
talked about that many
Facebook
times.
Groups.
Yes.
And I've pointed out that the different Facebook groups for the different bands have different levels of annoyance for me. My favorite is The Rush, because they don't say anything, except maybe once a year they'll say something about a Rush album, and then everybody else will be like, shut up, and they go on with their lives. U2 is all about how Bono saved their lives. Tool...
Right.
Tool right now is a flutter because the tour is going on. And it seems like every day there is a post of someone saying, gee, I'd love to go see this Tool show, but I can't afford $300 for a ticket or $600 for a ticket or $1,200 for a ticket.
$1,200?
Here's the thing. The tickets don't cost that when you buy them through the normal channels. They cost that when people like flood in and then scalp them.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I pride myself on being a good ticket buyer. I am the guy that has 2 computers, a tablet, and a phone all on Ticketmaster or wherever, ready to go. And then I hit them all. Boom.
You're like an octopus.
I am. And I get them at face value. So I got my tickets. Well, I got a premium ticket for a price, but that's neither here nor there.
The price that they set, not the price that some scalpers set.
Exactly.
Right.
But every couple of days.
And my apologies to scalpers.
Yeah.
I take that back.
Every couple of days, there's some jackwad on there that's complaining about Tool. Doesn't Maynard have enough money? Well, they need to buy another drum set. Oh, well, they don't have enough guitars. Will you shut your pie hole?
Yeah.
And I'm tuned into the Tool thing right now because there's a concert coming up, but the same thing happened when the U2 shows were coming up. All these different kinds. It doesn't matter where you get tickets. If you follow them on Facebook, there's some jackwad that'll pop up and complain that they have to pay $3,000 to sit on the tour bus. And it's like, you don't have to pay $3,000 to sit on the tour bus. You can buy a $50 ticket like every other red-blooded American and sit where you sit.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Or you can wait until 5 minutes before the show and spend $15,000 on a seat or whatever it is.
Right.
But stop complaining about the artists. Stop blaming them for what the scalpers do. Having said all that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the Fear Inoculum tour.
Okay.
For Tool.
Yeah.
So Fear Inoculum is the first album they've had in 13 years. Everybody thought Tool was done. 13 years.
Okay.
13 and a half. The Tool boards will go
I thought
crazy.
they just put something out like a couple of years ago.
That's Fear Inoculum. This is the tour that it was interrupted by COVID. As a matter of fact, the ticket that I had was canceled. It was in 2020. So, I don't know why I keep doing this with my hands.
You're telling me Fear Inoculum came out 13 years ago?
No. Fear Inoculum came out in 2019.
Okay, I was about to say, I thought that was... So what was... Fear Inoculum was their first album in 13 years.
Yes.
I'm following you.
There you go.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Monkey boy.
And it's the first time they've toured in like a very long time. Okay?
Right.
It's a big deal. All right. It's a big deal. So then they had their tour, and then it got interrupted by COVID.
Right.
My premium ticket that I had was unceremoniously ripped from my hands, and I couldn't go see them. And then they decided, hey, COVID's hit a point where we're going to restart the tour. Boom, they restarted the tour. Simultaneously, people have been clamoring for a vinyl release of Fear Inoculum because vinyl people are crazy. I know that because I am one.
Vinyl people love listening to 4 songs and then you take a break.
Well, every song on Fear Inoculum is like 10 minutes. One of the songs is 20 minutes. So it's 5 LPs. I'm not kidding. It's 5.
I believe
it's 5 records for one album. So they announced that they're going to start selling this LP, the vinyl in April, but the band got or whatever it is, like when you make art or whatever, you get copies of it. Like if we ever got famous and we made an album, we would get like a bunch of copies of it for free or whatever before it goes. So they decided to sign all their copies and they're selling them at the show for and they said for a premium price.
Okay. And how much is that premium price?
So
Dusty?
Here's my favorite thing about the Tool group. Everyone was so excited about the opportunity to buy this vinyl at the show and about how Tool is the greatest band in the world because they've brought vinyl, they've come back to this and all this stuff. And then somebody took a snapshot of the merch table. It's $810.
That's a lot for an album. Lot. Yeah.
So then everyone split. It was like the Civil War.
They all walked away.
They all walked away. I'm gonna need about $810.
That's what it changed me.
I gave him $200. She gave him $200.
Oh, so now it's $250. Yeah.
I gave him $1.
She gives him $1.
I thought he'd go away if I gave him $1.
So now there's a civil war in the Tool camps. There's the people saying, well, hell yeah, it's $810. It's brand new. It's not available for everyone else for 2 more months. Everyone signed it. This is Maynard's personal copy or Danny's personal copy.
I don't care if it literally just came off, if it still had steam coming off of it from coming out of the vinyl press.
Well, and that's the other crew. The other crew is like, are you out of your mind spending this much money?
I'll pay $12.50 and get the
thing.
CD.
So they're all arguing and fighting against each other. And then every once in a while, somebody will come in and say, I can't believe I have to pay $60 for a nosebleed seat. So I'm thinking about leaving all the Tool groups until after this tour.
Yeah.
But if you want to make a difference in the world,
Mike is setting up a GoFundMe page.
Real talk.
Okay.
Real talk.
Yeah, okay.
This podcast costs money.
Yes, it does.
It takes money to fuel this machine.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been greasing the wheels that produce this machinery of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't think $810 is much to ask of listeners. Okay, so here's what you'll get.
Here's the thing. If 800 listeners could donate $1,
exactly,
then Mike can have his album by Tool.
Well, I'd need somebody else to donate 10.
You can't cover the rest of it. I said if 810 people.
You said 800.
Okay, my apologies. I apologize for the math.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Here's the point.
Okay.
Here's the point.
Okay.
You don't need that dollar.
No.
You, the listener. I'm looking at you, but I'm talking to the listener.
I know what you're doing, Mike.
This
isn't our first radio.
This is a good deed. This is a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I am all about the vinyl.
Right.
I'm going to get the vinyl. But I can't get the signed vinyl. I think of anyone in the world, I deserve the signed Fear Inoculum vinyl more than anyone, and I'll tell you why.
Why is that?
Because I want it.
Because I want it.
because
so bad.
What's on the
That's
wall
my
right there? You
process.
see a
And I
Tool.
want it.
There's a Tool poster on the wall right there from the show.
Yeah.
I occasionally have a shirt on. I've got the thing over here that I can hang on the wall as soon as I get permission.
do-rag.
I have a Tool do-rag. I have all the CDs. I even have Salival.
Which you need to take some penicillin and clear that up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just think it would be a good deed. If you're looking for a good deed to do, what was it? They had the thing where you spend $1 and you save a kid from starving.
Right.
Yeah, spend $1 and save me from not having Fear Inoculum.
So kids could eat, or you could get your album, is what you're saying. You want this album more than you want some kid to eat. Careful.
If people send me money, enough money to get this album, I will send $1 to save a kid from starvation.
So if you get $810, you'll send $1?
Yes.
That doesn't.
It doesn't work out, does it? If you get me, let me revise that.
Okay.
If you send me $811, I'll send $1 to save a kid, and I'll spend the other $810.
That's the one extra thing you're not spending on the album.
That's right. Well, I've got to stand there because I got to buy it before the concert. So I've got to stand there during the show holding this. This thing's heavy. There's 5 LPs in there. I got to hold that during the whole show.
Are you going to run it out to the car? Or are you going to
I don't think they let you back in. I think I have to stand there during the show.
So you got to stand there holding an album the whole show?
Yeah, that everyone there knows is worth $810.
It's going to get all sweaty and clammy, and it's going to get bent. And you're gonna.
That's what she said.
You're gonna get all pissy.
Yeah.
Don't touch me, you freaks.
Yeah.
I got an album.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna call this Mike Aid.
Mike Aid.
What we should do is have like a concert.
Yeah.
Where you and I, bring out local bands.
Yeah.
And we'll introduce them and we'll raise money so that you can get this album.
We only have a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So if you look on our website, there's Buy Me a Coffee.
Okay.
Just pretend.
I still don't understand what this is.
Just pretend like it's an $810 cup of coffee. A really good cup of coffee signed by Tool. And if you're worried about where it's going to go, if you're worried about who's going to have it, I'm going to have it.
Okay.
Mike.
I'll tell you what.
Have it, and I will have it in my house.
If anybody listening becomes a patron of this show and donates money so that Mike can get this album, I will autograph something.
I was about to say, I'm not letting you anywhere near this album if I get.
No, I'm not going to autograph that album, but I'll autograph something, and then I'll send it to the fan who does this. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Now let me put a very important, critical disclaimer in this podcast episode. Bess. If you see a signed Fear Inoculum album in this house, I did not spend $810 on that.
Our fans.
The fans bought it for me because they love me and they love Darin and they love this show and they love America. And we saved a kid from starving.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Otis Elevators. Hi, this is your announcer, Dave Lay, and if there's one word that describes me, it's brand loyal. I've been riding Otis Elevators all my life, and if I'm ever in a building that doesn't have an Otis, I say, F that shit. I'm taking the stairs. I know those other brands are fine, but take it from me. Riding in another brand of elevator, well, it's just not the same. So you have your Fuji Techs, and they're the official elevator of the Cincinnati Reds, but, well, we see how that's worked out. Then you have your Thyssen Cups, your Dovers, and the Montgomery elevators with their play school buttons. I don't need that shit. I am an Otis man. There's nothing like the feel, the smell, and the comfort of an Otis elevator. The next time you're in an elevator, look up and make sure it's an Otis. If it's not, well, maybe you should take the stairs. Now, back to the show.
Speaking of $1 bills,
Yeah.
I've been meaning to tell this story for a couple weeks and we keep running out of time.
Okay.
But it was before Valentine's Day and the kids are in bed and I'm lying in bed and I've got the remote and I've got Netflix fired up. We're getting ready to watch. So we watched The Girl in the Window beside the house next to the thing with the stuff in it or whatever that show was called.
Oh, I didn't know if you were talking about a show or just some kind of weird thing you guys do.
No. Well, and that's what brings up the topic that I'm.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there minding my own business, waiting for Libby to come in to watch the show. And she comes in. She has a roll of tape, scissors, and a handful of $1 bills. And I'm like, I know we've been together 20 years now, but
well, that's
this is going to get freaky.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell's going? Yeah. What are you doing? You never come in like what? Okay, I kind of imagined what the ones were for, and I was ready to dance for the ones.
Okay.
Wasn't excited about the tape.
Yeah, the scissors.
But it was the scissors that scared me. So. Turns out Libby was being a very sweet mom, and she was cutting out hearts.
Oh.
Okay. And what she did was early on in February, she would put hearts on our son's door with a note from mommy how much she loves the boys, and she would give them $1 bills. Okay. So it turned out that it wasn't something
nice
freaky.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't freaky.
So, I mean, I was relieved and a little bit disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Got any favorite books, Mike? Okay, clear. It's my fifth heart attack today.
So I've realized I've always thought that I have an excellent vocabulary.
Since
and it wasn't until I started a podcast with you that I realized I can barely speak.
Penultimately,
I need to learn more words.
Thing and the thing.
So something I haven't done for a very long time, and I'll admit it, is read.
Right.
I'll start reading a book. I've got plenty of books that I've started to read, and then I throw them down. Forcefully.
Get out of my hand, you damn book.
I am made an agreement with myself. I'm going to start reading again regularly.
Okay.
So that I can. That's the way you learn more words. Is you read.
You read.
Yeah. Or talk to people. I don't like to talk to people.
You don't like talking to me.
I don't like talking to anybody. I talk to myself a lot.
And I don't think you like that.
Yeah. I have a lot of arguments with myself.
All right.
The point is that you guys, you listeners, will over the next few months,
you people,
be able to hear a marked improvement in the show's quality.
Okay,
because I will begin to use multi-syllabic words, and I'll stop
like parallelogram,
parallelogram,
or perfunctory,
or perfunctory,
or another word that starts with the P. Phlegm.
Couldn't even find one that had the hard P sound.
Next week we'll talk about horticulture.
Horticulture.
Yeah.
Diagonal.
That's a good word to use.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't even think of one to go with the bit.
Right.
That's how
that's how stupid you are.
Stupid I am.
Yeah.
So,
but now listen to me. I have a friend, and he doesn't listen to this show, but he will throw out words that aren't conversational, like how oblique can you be? I'm like, and he says, what? You don't know what oblique means? I know what oblique means.
Everybody has,
but I'm not in a Scrabble tournament.
Yeah,
I'm having a conversation with you.
Everybody has that one cocktooth friend that buys those daily calendars, word of the day, obtuse.
Yes.
By the way, sidebar, Your Honor.
Oblique.
For years...
See, I meant to say obtuse, and I said oblique. I need to read.
So Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption accuses the warden of being obtuse.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I know the word obtuse. I knew it before Andy Dufresne said it, and I knew it after. I have been convinced for over 20 years that he said obtuse. Even though I know obtuse exists. So much so that I got into an argument with my family just a couple of nights ago. I was like, what does obtuse mean? And Beth said, do you mean obtuse? I was like, no. Andy Dufresne says obtuse. And I even played the scene for them.
How can you be so obtuse?
What? What did you call me?
Obtuse? Is it deliberate?
That was the longest night of his life.
Charlie, Andrew, and Bess all agreed that
even the dog knows.
They all agreed that he actually said obtuse, but Bess said, I see why you think that because he pronounces it weird. It does sound a little bit like obtuse if you're listening weird.
God love her.
That's how I
She's
listen.
Bess is always the one who comes in the middle. You know what? Yes, kids, Daddy is a dumbass, but I know what he was going for, and I think we should give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And then she holds her hands together and she's like, okay, who's ready for some muffins?
So here's what I would like to do is I'm going to start using the word obtuse a lot.
Okay.
I'm going to use it at the Tool concert. If I meet any member of the band, I'm going to say,
man, these bands are kicking ass off. They're obtuse tonight.
That was a really obtuse lyric you
Yeah. So this is what I've been doing to try to, okay, I told you that I have a new job and I write promos and I edit promos.
Yeah.
And I'm working now for Antenna TV and Rewind TV. And sometimes it's hard for the idea to come, right? It's brain freeze. Okay.
Yes.
You have writer's block. And so I started, and I know 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was bitching about people who play Wordle. I've started playing Wordle.
Okay.
And I'm doing it. I've got a reason. Okay. It's not just to kill time.
You're doing it in protest.
I'm doing it to try to help my brain.
Okay.
I'm trying to learn not so much more words, but I'm trying to open up that thing that helps you think creatively.
Okay.
And I've been doing that with Wordle.
Okay.
And I found out that I'm not playing the same Wordle that all y'all are playing because there's like a hidden. It's like Fight Club.
Yeah.
You know, in Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. In Wordle, I can't find anyone who will reveal what the word is that day.
No. What the hell?
Oh, my God. How dare you, you bastard.
Yeah,
so,
you can't do that.
I've reached out to some people privately who, in confidence, told me what the word of the day was. My friend Stephen Hubbard told me one day that the word was humor. Okay. The day I did it, the word was bidet. Bidet, of all things.
Yeah.
I'm like, we ain't playing the same Wordle.
Yeah.
And so I think mine is just some knockoff, like generic Kroger brand. It's called Guess a Word.
Well, that's
catchy, really catchy, guys.
Yeah.
Still 5 letters.
Hazard a guess is another one.
So, but anyway, I mean, I don't know what the deal is because I started posting what the 5-letter word was on Twitter. I would just say green, send. It would get 2 likes, which is the same amount of any other tweet that I ever put out anymore because nobody likes me on Twitter at Darin Loves Bacon.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I've been trying to do to learn more words.
Okay.
And I'm ending up not learning. It's just the same words. I'm just learning how to spell them.
It's going to be very interesting 10 episodes down the line here to see. You know, I'm going to be over here talking about how obtuse everything is, and you're going to be talking about a humorous bidet.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whoppers all-beef footlong hot dogs. Had a crazy day? Are the kids driving you nuts? And the boss is climbing on your ass waiting for you to work late again? I'm Dave Lay, and I know the feeling. It seems like life is constantly trying to rip me a new one. And this always happens on my night to make dinner. So what do? I'll tell you, Sally. I throw some Whoppers all-beef footlong hot dogs on the grill. And just like that, everybody's happy. Whoppers are made from pure beef with no fillers or preservatives. They're packed full of flavor, and they're perfect for any meal or a late-night snack. Get a ruler and measure it yourself. If your hot dog isn't a foot long, they'll refund your money, guaranteed. So after this podcast is over, run out and grab a package of Whoppers all-beef foot-long hot dogs. You'll be glad you did.
We got a new washing machine.
Yeah.
Did I talk about this last time?
Yeah. Well, no.
I was getting a new washing
last
machine.
week. Yeah, because you mentioned the finger power part too, that your wife had broken your washing machine because she can't control her own strength.
Yeah.
And she jams her finger aggressively into the washing machine.
She went at
until
it
she
like
broke
that.
it. She went like almost Incredible Hulk style on your washing machine and broke it and cost your family thousands of dollars.
She was like-
That's what I heard last week.
She was like that blue guy in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
In the thing and
Exactly.
went right through it.
Exactly.
So we ordered a new washer, and it was delivered and installed. And I love this washer.
Right.
Out of all the appliances I've ever had in my life.
Right.
Today, oh my God.
Well, no, last week after the show was over with, we were talking. We're like, oh crap, we should have really put this into last week's episode instead of the stomach bug.
Yeah.
But we were talking about your washer. You hook it up to an app.
Yeah, it's got an app.
We couldn't figure out why, because you have to be in the room to put the clothes into the washer.
Yeah.
And then you drive to Virginia and then start it.
Yeah, I learned
because you could do that.
I learned the value of the app today.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So
tell me the value of the app.
Well, let
Mike.
me back up a little bit.
Okay.
We have decided to get the dryer that goes with the washer. Most people buy those things together. We're idiots.
Yeah.
So we have the dryer come in, and
you have to have them matching.
It also connects to the app and talks to you. Now, I can see the value in that because you want to know when your clothes are dry so you can put them on yourself and go out of the house.
Right.
If you do laundry like we do, which is like, I got to leave in an hour. I need to do these. So today, it tells me every time a load is being done.
Okay.
I can look and, so like Domino's, if you order a pizza to be delivered, you see a little graphic of the dude making the pizza and it's going on the conveyor. And then it says Carl is driving your pizza over. The guy's name's not Carl.
Right.
Because I've checked.
Right.
I've said, hey, Alonzo, or whoever it says. And they're like, I'm Fred.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, the thing just lied to me.
Alonzo.
It just annoys me.
Apologies to anybody who delivers pizza and your name happens to be Alonzo.
Well, not that. There's nothing wrong with that. The app should not be misrepresenting you.
That's true.
If I start delivering pizzas and I'm delivering the pizza and someone answers the door, opens the door and says, hey, Carl, I'm not Carl, I'm Mike.
Right.
It knows that I brought it over. I don't want Carl getting credit for me driving this pizza over.
Right.
But that's all beside the point.
Right.
You get on there and you see a little graphic of your washing machine doing its thing and what cycle it's in, how long it is till the next cycle, and it will alert you. I call it texting. Beth says it's not texting. I call it texting. That's what it's doing. It's alerting me. It's saying, hey, this load is done. You can do whatever. You can dry it. You can throw it out, whatever. It's done. So today...
Your laundry is ready to be thrown away.
So today... I was getting in the car, and I get a, ba-ding on the phone.
Yeah.
I look at it, and it says, we have a problem with the spin cycle. So I immediately call Bess. She answers the phone like this, hello? Like, what'd you do to my washer? It's like this pause, and she's like, what do you, she's like, I put a pillow in there. I was like, you don't put a pillow. You can't put a single pillow. And she's like,
you got to put two pillows.
She's like, well, how did you know about it? I was like, it told me. And she just started
ratted her out.
She started laughing.
Get stitches.
She started laughing, but there was like a nervousness behind the laughter. And I said,
you're like, what else are you putting in my washer?
I said, welcome to the Matrix. I just red pilled your ass. That thing told me what you did to it. Okay. She's like, well, I only had to wash one pillow. I was like, you can't wash one pillow.
No.
It says right there in the guide, you can't do that. Like you said, you got to do multiple things or it's got to even out.
You got to put a comforter on the other side because if you don't, it goes
exactly. So I told her, I was like, the thing's watching you. And when the dryer gets here, I'm going to find out what you've been doing to the dryer.
You have been warned.
Oh, yeah.
On YouTube, there's a video of somebody putting a bowling ball inside a dryer on top of a trampoline. It's endlessly entertaining. Go check it out right now. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the washer is now my favorite thing electronic in this house. I love it.
Yeah.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by sweet, delicious apples. I'm Dave Lay, and I love apples. Honeycrisps are my favorite, but I also enjoy Golden Delicious, Fuji, and Cameo apples. I'll eat anything except for Granny Smith apples. What the hell were they thinking when they made those? Am I right? Apples are healthy, and they're perfect with peanut butter. Remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But if you're not feeling well or have symptoms, please contact your primary care physician or call 911. Apples, America's favorite snack. Now, back to the show.
I have an update on a previous Kroger story of the week.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, I told you that I went into Kroger, and on the floor, there's a sign right before you get to the produce department, right between the produce department and the floral department. And I'm going to post this picture on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
But the sign on the floor says, "Feeling adventurous?"
Yes.
With a question mark. So I went to Kroger. I had some time to kill.
You felt adventurous.
Which is scary for me. And it's actually quite dangerous. So I stood there at the sign and I waited for the first Kroger employee to walk by me. Finally, this guy walks by and says, "Excuse me, sir?" And he says, "Yes." And I pointed at the sign and I said, "I'm feeling adventurous." And he looks at me like I was a monkey who went into space.
Oh, dude.
And he said, okay. And I said, "Well, what am I supposed to do now?" And he said, kudos to him. He goes, "Well, I mean, there's all kinds of adventure here in Kroger, but I really don't know."
You know what I want to have happen? I want you to get like the old school explorer outfit, like Dr. Livingston, I presume, with the yellow hat
and the
like
monocle,
and the monocle,
and the vest,
and I'll dress up like a pirate, and we can go together and we could just stand there on that thing and wait for somebody to ask us.
It's like, "Hey, who wants to go find some treasure?"
Oh, yeah.
Arr. It's just like,
get Charlie in a spacesuit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, why does the sign say "feeling adventurous"?
I mean,
did there used to be a roller coaster there and they took it out and they forgot to remove the sign? I don't know.
When I think of adventure in a grocery store, I don't think of Kroger. I'm sorry. I know we love Kroger. We go there all the time. But Jungle Gyms, maybe. That's kind of adventurous.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to run into there.
No, you can get food from all over the world at Jungle Gyms. For people who do not live in the greater Cincinnati area, there is a grocery store in Westchester, Ohio called Jungle Gyms where you can get food from Africa, Australia. There's a Germany section. There's literally like 20 or 24 different countries. You can get beer from all over the world.
It's like
exotic cheeses.
Yeah, it's like a Whole Foods mixed with Epcot Center.
Exactly.
That's basically what it is.
Exactly.
It even has a monorail.
And it costs the same. It costs exactly the same to go to both places. So a fan of the show reached out to us. Jim Timmerman.
Okay.
Yep. He's a big fan of our show. I'm a big fan of Jim Timmerman. So he asked, and I'm trying to keep the same amount of excitement here for you.
Okay.
So Jim Timmerman asked us a few questions.
Okay.
One of them was if there was an Irritable Dad Syndrome candle scent, what would it smell like?
Regret
and fear.
And fear.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. He wanted to know the best bar stool seat. Do you prefer a bar stool that swivels or one that sits still?
No, the ones that sit still, I feel I get claustrophobic.
Really?
Yeah.
See, the ones that swivel, I catch myself constantly swiveling. I turn into a kid. So I like the ones, if I'm at a bar, I like the ones that don't swivel and don't have a back.
Okay, I'll agree with you on the back because I was when you said don't swivel or swivel, I immediately thought all the ones that don't swivel have a back, but that's not true. There are ones that don't swivel that don't have a back.
I was about to say, because if I get a few in me, I'm falling off that swivel chair.
Well, the swivel, you can be talking to one person on your right, and if you need to, you can swivel around and talk to the person on your left without much effort.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, his final question which usually you're supposed to ask one question a week. He
Yeah.
asked 5. I narrowed it down to 3. All right, here we go. Are you sitting down?
Yes. Are you going to keep beating that microphone like that?
In the 2014 movie Interstellar, directed
Yes.
by Christopher Nolan, not
Yeah.
Kevin Nolan,
Yeah.
that
I'm
nobody.
a huge fan of this movie, by the way,
Yeah.
so I'm excited for this question.
Matthew McConaughey could adjust the humor setting on his robots.
Uh-huh.
If you could set your appliances, like your washer, Mike,
Oh.
if you could set your appliances in the setting to a humor setting, what percentage would it be? And remember, this question is not about Matthew McConaughey.
My setting would be...
You would probably have yours on Benny Hill.
No, I would have it brutally sarcastic.
Okay.
I would have it as she's putting a pillow in, go, really? We're doing that again?
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is going to work out wonderfully. Go ahead. Put a pillow. Go ahead. Just put one pillow in there. Let's see how this works out. I'm telling
I
Mike.
could just hear your washer. Oh, you finally decided to wash your underpants instead of going out to Target and buying some more. Nice. Oh, thank you. I was just sitting here not doing anything for the past 2 weeks, but I'm so happy you decided to put something in me so I could clean it. Yeah. I could just hear now if my refrigerator had a setting, my refrigerator would sigh every time I opened the freezer. You went and bought more Little Debbie ice cream, did you? Just sigh. I mean,
So I do
can't
need
you
to-
buy the real thing instead of the frozen Salisbury steaks, Darin?
I need to plug Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy because one of my favorite jokes in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is they're on this ship and there's a corporation that makes all the doors and everything, and they all have happy people emotions things. So the doors, whenever it opens for you, it goes, wee, because it's excited, and the computer is like, hey guys, the time is blah, 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 blah. Well, on this ship, they also have a very depressed android called Marvin the paranoid android, who's just like, oh, this door is going to be excited to open for me. He goes, wee, he goes, for the love of
Was it Eeyore?
yeah, he's basically Eeyore in
Well,
robot
I
form.
guess I'm not going to do anything of value.
So
today.
yeah, when they were adjusting the humor rating or the humor setting on the robots there, that's the first thing I thought of was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think somebody on the writing team was nodding towards that.
Yeah. So Interstellar had Matthew McConaughey in it.
It did.
And do you remember Letterman, David Letterman?
Yeah.
Okay, so he used to have the TV show Late Show with David Letterman.
Okay.
And CBS had the lateshow.com.
Okay.
Okay. And every week they would have the top 10 contest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you enter the contest. They would give the categories. You send the entries.
Okay.
And if yours makes it on this, you win a T-shirt or a mouse pad
Okay. Yeah.
or a different T-shirt.
Some
Anyway,
licorice.
No, they never gave away licorice.
Okay.
Anyway, I was fortunate enough to win that thing 4 times.
Whoa.
Okay, the first time, and every time I tell this story, people was like, "Did they read your top 10 list on the show?" No, they didn't read it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It was just online. Okay, so the first time I won, the question was top 10 least popular Major League Baseball mascots.
Yeah.
And I came in at number 3 with the New York Yanker. Okay. Should have been number 1.
Yeah.
But in my defense, 3, I always thought 3 was the funniest. So I took that. Okay. I was happy with that.
Yeah.
When George W. Bush was reading his speech and that kid was standing up there and he was like falling asleep and cracking his neck.
Yeah.
So they did a thing, top 10 ways to make presidential speeches more exciting. And I said, use one of them Peter Frampton voice box guitars. That one.
Okay.
Anyway, the last time I won, it was top 10 answers to the joke, how cold is it?
Yeah.
And I said, it's so cold that Matthew McConaughey was actually found wearing a shirt. Yeah. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good times.
We got to wrap this mother scratcher up.
Well, before we do that, your buddy, my buddy Dan, was talking about the new Obi-Wan series that's coming to Disney Plus.
Okay.
And mentioned that John Williams is going to be doing the theme to the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say publicly, get it out there, that John Williams is the best film composer who has ever lived and ever will live.
Yeah, I mean, he does. There's a lot of themes that people don't even realize that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if the only score he ever did was the theme from Star Wars, he would be legendary. If the only film score he ever did was the theme from E.T. the Extraterrestrial, he would be legendary. You can say that about Jurassic Park. You can say that about Harry Potter. You could say that about oh my God.
Did he do Harry Potter?
Yeah, the music for Superman. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Which, by the way,
dun, dun,
that always drove me crazy because when I was a kid, if I did the song for if it did the music for Star Wars and then try to do Superman right after it, I would get confused and back and forth because to me they sounded similar. I wasn't a smart kid.
Anyway, John Williams is 90.
90.
Okay. And
Indiana Jones,
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay.
The X-Men movies.
He did the theme from the X-Men?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Shaft.
Somehow.
Man, Shaft was a great movie. No, he didn't do the theme from Shaft.
Why did they put that in here?
I don't know. What website are you on? Lies.com?
Fiddler. I was on Wikipedia. They just, for some reason, they just started talking about Bryan Singer in the middle of talking about John Williams.
Bryan Singer. So funny thing about Bryan Singer is that the guy who edits his movies does the music, which I thought was weird.
So Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno, Jaws.
Yes.
For the love of it.
I know.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
He did
Star Wars.
He did every Steven Spielberg movie except for two: The Color Purple, which Quincy Jones did, and then there was one other that he was ill at the same time that Spielberg was doing his movie, and some other guy.
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh my God, Saving Private Ryan.
Empire of the Sun, Munich.
Yeah.
Schindler's List.
Yeah. Insane. The man has been nominated for more.
And Harry Potter.
Yeah. He's been nominated for more Academy Awards than anybody else in his field. I think he's been nominated like 60 or 70 times or something. Won 5 Academy Awards. Anyway, the guy's 90 years old, and I would love to have him as a guest on this show. We can talk about film composing because you and I know so much about that. So, John Williams, if you're out there, if you're listening, we would I know this isn't your thing, but we would love to have you as a guest on our show so we could talk about how much we love the movies that you've made. So please, John Williams, come on our show.
The only way I'd be able to get through one of those is to do like a Zach Galifianakis.
Where do you get your ideas?
Between Two Ferns. So you did Jaws. What do you think that's good? Is that just 2 notes? Really? So that's you come up with iconic 2 notes.
I love Between Two Ferns.
It's
Well, listen, Dusty, we're going to wrap this one up.
All right, Buck.
Yeah. We want you to go to irritabledadsyndrome.com. And I know we tell you this every week, but seriously, go to irritabledadsyndrome.com. You can listen to previous episodes. You can buy merchandise, and you can go to the patron section. You can donate money. You can help us keep this podcast alive.
You can donate money for me to get the signed Fear Not Killing vinyl.
That's separate. We're really hoping that they donate for the podcast. But Mike has this,
We can hope that at 2 weeks from now. Right now, I'm hoping that we have like a rich listener out there somewhere.
If you get $1 donation,
I'm gonna
my pants.
I'll up the ante.
Okay.
If I get the money for this, I'll post a picture of it online.
Deal.
There's no way in hell I'm opening it. We'll play it on stream.
Wait a minute. You're going to spend $810 on an album that you're not going to open?
You can't open it. It's been signed. What are you going to do? Open it and play it on your Fisher-Price turntable?
Yeah.
An $810 an album?
Yes. If I'm paying $810, I'm going to have sex with it. I'm going to take it out back and get it pregnant.
If they buy me an $810 album that's signed, I'm going to buy the regular unsigned version. I'll open that. I'll play with it. I'll spin it.
You don't already have it?
No, it's not out yet. That's part of the reason it's so expensive.
Okay,
It just
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. We hope to see you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Thanks for listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome. And hey, if you like the show, tell your friends about it. Tell your family. And tell your coworkers while you're at it. Tell them to tell their friends, and their families, and their coworkers. Tell your neighbor. Tell the dealer down the street. Walk up to total strangers and tell them about Irritable Dad Syndrome. And help make this show the biggest damn podcast the world has ever seen. So get off your ass and get going. We'll see you next week.
You're not a cook.
Yeah, well, I also cook.